Welcome back, guys, to Couch Conversations. I'm joined today by our lovely currency specialist who works for Smart Currencies, Sophie, who's going to give us a lovely conversation about all things currency related. So, Sophie, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here and for making the time on a lovely Monday. Monday mornings are always the busiest morning. But I think Look, I'm a complete currency newbie. I always like to put my clients in contact with the best, and I know you are. But honestly, I don't know much about it. So maybe if you can give me a bit of a rundown of Smart Currencies, what they do, who you are, that would be great.
Okay, so I'll start with who I am. My name is Sophie. I've worked in the FX industry for 11 years now. And I work at Smart Currency Exchange, as you've mentioned, and we're a UK-based, privately owned foreign exchange specialist. So essentially, we help individuals, businesses, and people that are buying and selling abroad get their money over efficiently and with a competitive rate.
Okay, so let's say, for example, I have a client whose all of their funds are in the UK. They're looking to buy a holiday home here. My first call is, hi, Sophie, here's Bill from Nottingham. Can I put him in contact with you because he's looking to purchase a property over here? Is that sort of the right?
That's exactly how it is. So for us, the main thing is for our clients to understand what their budget is and how they can protect their budget. Because the markets change every 6 seconds. Wow. So it really can affect over a 3-month period of someone agreeing on property and the price of completion. There's such a difference in the movement. Yeah, completely.
Okay.
So the market can move 5 to 10% in a few months.
Oh, wow.
So it really can save a client thousands.
So what does a currency specialist actually do? Because I think obviously what we'll find is that people just go, oh, well, I'll just transfer it from one bank to another.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what I'll do. So why do I need to sort of get in contact with a currency specialist?
Okay, because we're specialists, we can give advice and let our customers know the risks that are involved with the currency.
Understood.
Whereas a bank isn't going to do that. Also, our exchange rates are a lot closer because we work on the live market, whereas a bank sets their rates for 24 hours to protect themselves against any market fluctuations.
Okay.
So we don't do that. We work throughout the day on the actual live market.
Yeah, so I think it's also important that people know that you're literally working 24/7 to get them the best rate.
Yeah. And so we have different options available as well. So we promote mostly a forward contract.
Okay.
Which means that our clients can lock in a rate of exchange for up to 12 months, completely free of charge.
Whoa.
But there's like a 5 to 10% deposit of their total amount, just so that is that we've got a security because we have bought currency on their behalf.
Okay.
But it's not a fee.
So can someone then, so let's say, can they set up an alert with you?
Yes.
So they go, I know that I'm going to spend X amount, at least I know I'm going to spend this much.
Yeah.
So they can come to you and say, if it hits this is what I want to exchange at.
That's called a market order. Okay. So with a market order, you can say the rate, you can agree the rate with your account manager.
Okay.
And when that rate hits, you get a phone call to say, the rate has hit this.
So you don't do it without their permission?
If that's a market order. An order to buy is when we do it automatically. So it doesn't matter when it hits, it can hit throughout the night. We've already purchased that for you.
Okay.
A market order is you get a phone call to say, look, the rate's hit this. Are you happy to proceed?
Okay. So the nice thing about that then is that you are always in contact with the client.
Yes.
At every point, every step.
Only ever a phone call away.
Okay.
And with a bank also, nobody is watching the fluctuations for you of the rates. Whereas you have your own dedicated specialist that is watching the market constantly and has alerts set for themselves so that they know when to get in contact with each client and what's best for the client.
So you mentioned fluctuations. What's the easiest way for someone like me who has no idea how currency works? What's the easiest way to understand how that works? So if I come to you and I go, I'm going to buy this 500,000 euro property and the market fluctuates, how does that affect my money at that point?
Okay, so essentially you're buying a property in your currency, but the property you've seen is a different currency. So if your currency weakens, that property becomes more expensive for you.
Definitely.
So we want to eliminate that possibility. We don't want your dream home to suddenly become unachievable for you and unaffordable.
Understood. So the basis of working with a currency specialist is you want them to get the most out of their currency.
Yes.
So
we want them to get the most out of the property that they've found. We want them to be able to make sure they can afford that when completion comes.
Okay. So let's say something happens in the UK.
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z happens. But you, 8 months before, when the sterling was strong, you bought in at this price.
Yeah.
8 months later, something's happened, the pound's gone down considerably, they're not affected.
They won't be affected at all. We recently had one of our clients that had found a property for 420,000 euros. The rate, luckily they'd locked in a rate with us. The rate over a 3-month period had changed by 2.8%. So we saved them £11,760, which essentially could be such a change in what their budget is if they've suddenly had to find that extra money. It's a lot of money to find when you're buying abroad.
So would you say that that's one of your biggest money saving opportunities, is to sort of lock in a rate when it's at its best?
Yes.
But how do you sort of tell someone this is as good as it's going to get? How do they know? Do you know what I mean?
I completely understand that.
I'll show them a property and I'll go, this is as good as it's going to get.
Yeah.
They sort of go, oh, but how do we know?
Yeah, well, our account managers have they're completely specialised in all of this, and they can just give advice and guidance. They won't tell a client what to do, but they will give them the guidance and tell them historically what's happened in this amount of time. Also with banks in Spain, if you're sending funds from a non-EU country, you also receive fees and charges to send that money to Spain, whereas we eliminate all of those charges.
Understood. So going back to what's going to save my client the most amount of money, if we're going to start the process, what would be your top recommendations for a client to save as much money when purchasing a property in Spain?
My recommendation, first of all, before you even begin to look at a property, is to understand your budget. So I think the most important thing is to get in contact with a currency specialist like ourselves. It's completely free to open an account. You're under no obligation to trade whatsoever. And then you just have the options. You're speaking to someone from that stage before you've been out looking at properties, thinking you can afford a property, when maybe reality is you're a bit short of that money.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is for us to protect your budget and for our clients to actually understand what their budget is going to be.
So coming back to understanding budgets.
Yeah.
Fees. So fees, for example, using smart currency.
Yeah.
Fees using a bank.
Yeah. So we charge no fees or commissions.
Zero.
Zero. The way that we're set up, we don't charge fees or commissions. However, a bank will charge you incurring fees, possibly for sending the money, and also their rate of exchange. As I mentioned, they set their rate of exchange for 24 hours to protect themselves. Whereas, because we work on a live rate, we can get the rate a lot closer to interbank, and that's where they have the huge saving.
So let's say I go to my client and I say, I'm going to put you in contact with Sophie. She's going to help you make the most out of your money.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, but I want to use Santander.
Yeah.
The difference how can I portray to them the difference between using Santander and using smart currencies? Because at the end of the day, people like to know reliability from a brand point of view, right? Because they can go, okay, smart currencies, and they can do all the investigating they want to do in the world. But they go to another country and they'll walk down the high street and they'll see the Bank of Santander. Yeah. So for me, wanting to portray to my client, this is going to be the best for you, how can I sort of get that across to them without it sort of going, you know, doing the whole spiel?
Yeah,
you know?
No, I understand
I think us especially being such a boutique kind of agency, obviously having the personal side of knowing you and talking to you adds a huge another layer. But how can I sort of tell them their money's going to be safe with you? Although you go anywhere in the world and you see the Bank of Santander, how can I portray to them that their money is going to be safe with you?
Okay, so we're fully authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Also, all of our clients' funds are kept in ring-fenced segregated client accounts.
Okay, wow. So, sorry, can we have an explanation on that? Like, that was a very big word. Ring-fenced?
Yeah.
Ring-fenced, segregated.
Yeah, which just means that their money is kept in a bank account away from anything to do with our company expenses, assets.
Okay.
So, for example, if Smart Currency Exchange had financial difficulty, our client's money can't be used to help out Smart Currency. It's kept completely different, and ring fence just means that it's secure, fully secure.
Okay. I think when big terminology like that is used, that's where I get scared, because I'm like, what does that mean? Yeah. And I think that's the nice thing about having this conversation as well, is that do you sort of find that there's any other term similar to that clients, the moment you sort of say it, they sort of go, what? And they sort of get a bit confused?
I think with a lot of the currency, even when you say certain things like market fluctuations and things, they're like, yeah, but how will that affect me?
Yeah.
So then you just have to explain that the rate movements.
Sophie, Sophie, my clients ask me this. I don't know what it means.
It's best to get in contact with us.
Yeah.
Rather than you try and explain.
100%.
Because you're.
Obviously, I mean, I've had clients come through you guys, and they have been over the moon with your service. But it's a huge thing, right?
Of course
like it's so easy to get sort of caught up in talking about these things really lightly. But you know, when someone's transferring £500,000, like that's a huge thing.
It is,
and it needs to be held with that respect.
Especially when you're buying abroad, one of the riskiest problems people encounter is rate fluctuations, which that doesn't even come into their head. They don't even think about that first.
Yeah.
And then with everything else going on, that's just a headache that they don't need when buying abroad. So that's why it's really best to have a plan in place, to speak to a specialist. Doesn't mean that I'm pushing you into transferring your funds straight away. Absolutely not.
Well, it's just
do
about
what's
having
best
you
for you
in their back pocket. And
exactly.
Sort of going, okay, I've found a property. I want to know how far my money's going to stretch.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
So have you find that there have been any particular challenges that you've seen clients go through when, let's say, they've sort of started the process by themselves, they've sort of, you know, maybe they've transferred the reservation fee via their banks and sort of gone, oh, that's cost me X amount, and then they recall that I've recommended you. When they've started to have that conversation with you, has there been any particular challenge that they've you know, encountered to then come and talk to you? Like, has there sort of been a sort of common denominator between various clients where they've done a big transfer on their own? They've gone, oh, that's cost me a lot more than I thought it was going to. And then they've sort of come and spoken to you?
Yeah, other than the rate even, which the rate is obviously the main thing. It's the most important thing that people want to know about, is we move money efficiently. We make sure that the deposit is where it's supposed to be at the right time. We make sure that it's with the lawyer, it's where it is supposed to be. Whereas we've had clients in the past that have transferred money and then it's not where it's supposed to be on that day. It's not all set in place.
Understood.
That's why having a plan is so important. It just takes the stress away.
Yeah. Yeah. So can you sort of run me through the process? So let's say I'm your client.
Yeah.
I give you a call and I go, hey, Sophie, Ella's recommended me from the Spanish estate agent. We found a property. We're in the realm of 700,000 euros.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Okay, so you open an account with us that's completely free, no obligation to trade. That just means that you can get in contact, you can be put in contact, with one of our specialists who then can guide you through, explain to you, you can explain your current situation. And they'll keep you updated. You're only ever going to speak to one person as opposed to 100 people that are sat in a call centre and you're going to be calling all different people.
Yep.
No, you get your own dedicated trader and they will just keep you updated. They agree calls with you, agree times, and then it's in control. There's no need for you to have to watch the market yourself.
Yeah. So let's say we've done that. I've told them I've found a property. I've paid a reservation on my credit card.
Yeah.
Right. So I haven't actually transferred anything.
Yeah.
I've paid a reservation fee on my credit card, and I basically need to have all my funds by, let's say, to be nice, 8 weeks' time in Spain. Where do we go from there?
Okay, so that would be if you already have a plan in place, they're gonna know the dates that the plan needs to be.
Yeah.
So then your account manager will make sure that the funds are sent with enough days to get it there.
Okay. Do they lock in a rate then?
They can do. It's completely up to you whether you want to lock in a
So this is when
contract.
we'd have that conversation of going, if it hits this, lock it in and call me. And if we've already hit that, and I go, okay, in 6 weeks' time the money needs to be here, does that money just sort of sit there until?
That's where you can do a forward contract, where you so then you know exactly what you're going to get in 8 weeks' time.
Okay.
You then know the exact amount of euros you're going to receive.
So is that money, is that deposited into the, what was it? Segregated? Yes. So that money can sit there for 8 weeks free of charge?
Yes.
Won't be charged?
No.
And then it will know when the date it needs to be.
Our account managers will deal with it from there. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the account manager.
Yeah.
Are they based here or are they based in the UK or
They're
where?
based in our London office.
Okay. So, for example, if my client is in London and wanted to go to your office, is that possible?
Yeah, the office is in Hammersmith.
Very good.
More than happy for any of our clients to go to that office. Our CEO, Charles, is still in the office every day, working alongside everybody else that works in the office. So it's a really nice atmosphere in the office.
Yeah, and I think it's also that kind of thing where sometimes people want to put a face to the person.
Yeah, of course.
And they want to sort of, I mean, that's why we're doing this, right? Is that it's important for us, especially as a company, for our clients to know who they're dealing with.
Yeah, of course.
So, we've had conversations with our sales director, we've had conversations with our lawyer, and now I think, the most obvious next step would be to have a conversation with you. Because at the end of the day, we're all about making the process as affordable for our clients as possible.
Yeah.
And we want them to feel safeguarded.
Yeah, and our office is in Calhonda. So anyone is more than welcome to come in, speak to me, get your account set up.
We can drive you down in the Spanish estate agent / smart currencies car, and we can go see them down there.
I can come to this office or your other offices that you have. So it's never a problem.
Would you sort of say that this is the safest way for people to transfer money?
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, to use a currency specialist, it takes away any risk.
Welcome back after the short break. I think another question that's really important to note is currency. Do we sort of deal with America?
Yeah.
We do America?
Yes.
We do Canada?
Yes, we do.
Because obviously we know that market's getting pretty big right now.
Yeah, we've noticed such an increase in that market. So yeah, we're licensed now to help the US clients. So yeah, it's really been a benefit for us that we're now got the US license and we can help Canadians, we can help US. So yeah, it's really good for us because there has been so many Americans coming over now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's been a real increase.
Yeah. Amazing. And I think to finish off, what's the most important piece of advice that you can sort of give someone when it comes to buying a property here? Or even a better way of sort of putting it is there any word of warning or word of advice that you could give them when purchasing a property here?
Yeah, well, the price of your property isn't fixed until your exchange rate is. So you need to understand, protect that budget. So I would say the best thing is to get in contact today. I can help you with any questions or queries that you may have that may not have been answered on this. And yeah, it's completely free to open an account, no obligation for anyone to trade with us. You're just getting some advice.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. We
Very
really appreciate
welcome.
it, and hopefully we will send you all of our clients, and they can get in contact with you. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Great news. Thank you
so
very much.
Thank
Bye.
you.